There's something you're doing right now that's destroying your success. And you know what? You think it's helping you. You think this is something that you should be doing. This is something you've been taught your whole life is a good thing. You think this is what separates winners from losers. And the more you do it, the further you'll get. You think this thing is the exact thing that is gonna make you successful. Well, unfortunately, it's a lie. And this one thing is actually pushing you further away from success. This one thing is costing you money. It's costing you opportunities, and this is ruining your goals. Meanwhile, you pat yourself on the back for doing this exact thing. The most successful people in the world figure this out. They do the opposite of what you're doing. And by the end of this video, I promise you'll understand exactly what it is and why everything you've been taught about success has been pointing you in the wrong direction. And I'll explain why these people are lying to you as well. Now, let's get straight into it and let me tell you exactly what's happening here. Because right now, we live in a world where being busy has become a status symbol. You ask someone how they're doing, and you know what they'll say? They'll tell you, oh, I'm very busy, I'm doing X, Y, Z. I have things going, I have this going for me, I'm just busy, right? And they say it with pride. This is a good thing. It's an achievement. They're doing stuff all the time. They don't have time for your They don't have time to talk to you. They're constantly on the grind. And this is how it's supposed to be, right? And social media has made this 10 times worse, right? You see all the 5 a.m. morning routines, packed calendars, grind culture. You see the guy talking about 80-hour weeks, guys talking about sleeping 4 hours. Crazy, right? You see this and you think this is hard. This is how you get successful. You don't take vacations, you grind, and you truly believe that this is the way to success. And these people are showing you the successful lives, so you think this is the way to go. And you look at this and you feel some pressure. Obviously, because you think you're supposed to work 14 hours, 16 hours a day, working all the time, and you're having a hard time doing so. You feel like you're falling behind. You feel like if you take Sunday off, someone's out there outworking you. You almost get anxiety, right? Constant anxiety, feeling like, oh, I'm not productive right now. You're at dinner with your friends and mentally running through your to-do list. You don't even know what is going on at the table. You gotta stay productive, right? You're laying in bed thinking about emails you haven't sent, thinking about what to do tomorrow, what you didn't get to do today. Your mind is constantly running. Let's go 1 week back. Probably you feel like you were slammed. Meetings, planning, messages, phone calls, everything moving just like you are a machine. You have to do this. You want to be successful, right? That's what you do. But now ask yourself, what did you actually accomplish? I know dozens of meetings, hundreds of texts, hundreds of messages. It's not accomplishments. You're just putting out fires all week, feeling like you're productive, you're doing something, but the output is not there. There's nothing there. Like if you look at terms of what actual progress that you did, stuff that actually matters, probably close to zero. You were busy, but you weren't productive. And those are two completely different things. Now, most people, they understand burnout. You work too hard, you get tired, you crash. It's kind of obvious. And that's fine, okay? We all know this. Constant hustle, at some point you'll crash. That's a cost everyone knows. But the real cost of being busy are much more subtle than that. And they're destroying you in ways you don't even notice, okay? So let's go through it and I'll explain exactly why busyness is far worse than you actually think. First, the quality of your work goes. Obviously, think about it. You're rushing from task to task. You're not doing anything well. You're doing everything at 60%. You go from one task to the other, to the next, to the next. You always have tasks. You're overloaded with tasks, right? There's no chance you can go 100% into one of these tasks because you have so many. You start getting corners, and it's not because you're lazy, but because you literally don't have time to do things properly. You have a packed calendar, right? You're busy, so you gotta get through things. At the end of the day, you'll probably end up spending twice as long fixing the mistakes you've been making while rushing through these tasks. But then again, you're still busy, right? That's work. So it's horrible. It's a fucking horrible loop. There's a reason surgeons don't perform 10 operations a day. There's a reason air traffic controllers have mandatory breaks. Because when the work actually matters, you can't half-ass it. You can't go 60%. You gotta go 100% on a few tasks. Second, on a personal level, your relationships become somewhat superficial. And to some people, it's painful to admit, because when you're in constant busy mode, you're not really present with anyone, right? And this goes for personal as well as business. Like your conversations are shallow because half your brain is somewhere else. You're talking to someone, but you're just thinking about what you have to do next, right? And people can feel feel that. Again, both business-wise and personally. The people in your life will feel this, and they will see that you're not actually really there. And trust me, over time, those relationships will suffer. And that's okay if you're really pushing for something big, but it's not okay when you're just being busy, not really accomplishing anything. It's just it doesn't make any sense. Third, and this is really the big one, you miss opportunities that could actually change everything for you. Think about it. When you're drowning in tasks, you don't have space for unexpected insights, right? You're not open, right? Your head's down, doing your things. So that random conversation that could lead to your next big partnership, well, it probably won't happen because you have calls or you're doing meetings or whatever the you're doing. So it won't happen. Or that article that could spark a game-changing idea, you probably won't read it because you're busy, right? You're grinding. You gotta get rich. But the best opportunities in business come from moments where you're not trying to be productive. When you have some space to think. When you're actually available for something unexpected. But if your calendar is packed from morning to night, well, that possibility is not there. You've eliminated that entirely. You've just said, I need to do these things. That's all I'm doing. And you're grinding it out and you feel productive, you feel good, but the other possibilities are out there and you're missing them. And you're sat there thinking, what do you know? Fair enough, good point. Let me go to the science behind this because there is actual science behind this. Every time you switch tasks, your brain basically pays a penalty. It takes time to refocus, to load the context of the new thing you're going to work on. And studies show that this can cost you 20 to 40% of your productive capacity. So when you're bouncing between emails and calls and Slack and messaging all day, well, you're not operating at full capacity. So even you working at 60% capacity is gonna feel twice as hard as if you were just working at 100% capacity. It's a terrible trade. It's awful. So basically you'll feel more stressed, more burned out. It's gonna be harder for you, more tense, and get less outcome. Think about it. You can relax, get a much higher outcome without being so stressed. So let me explain to you exactly how you will do that. And it's not about being lazy. This is not a permission to sit around all day and do nothing. This is what we call strategic inaction, okay? It's about deliberately choosing what not to do so you can focus on what actually matters. So let me give you some examples on that because you guys are sitting there thinking, who the fuck is this guy? What the fuck does he know? So hear me out. Warren Buffett, hopefully we all know him, he has famously said himself that his schedule is almost entirely empty. One of the richest people in the world spends most of his day reading and thinking. He's not in meetings, he's not busy, he is focused. Another example, Bill Gates. I know some of you hate him, some of you don't, but nevertheless, he made ton of money, and that's why we're all here. He used to take think weeks, literally disappearing for a week with nothing but books and papers. No meetings, no emails, no interruptions. And some of Microsoft's biggest strategic decisions came from those exact weeks. He had time to think. He wasn't busy hustling, doing stuff. No, quiet time to think. And this is where most of the big decisions came. Let's go a little bit back in history. Charles Darwin took walks every day, multiple walks. He wasn't checking things off his mental to-do list. He was giving his mind space to make connections, to think. And those walks, they led to the theory of evolution. Thank God he went for those walks. These aren't, I hope you all know, lazy people. They're some of the most accomplished people in history. Like, these are very important people. And I could name you tons of more examples of people you all admire and look up to, people who are richer than all of us. And they all understood something that most people today don't. Your best ideas don't come when you're grinding. They come when you create space. Let's dive a little deeper into this and look at how it actually looks practically. First thing, probably the most important thing, is you gotta stay relaxed. Okay, I'm joking. First thing is that you need to learn to say no. Okay? Most of the tasks on your list shouldn't be there. They're not actually moving you towards your goal. They're filling time, they're making you feel productive, and somehow they landed on your to-do list, but they shouldn't be there. Gotta learn how to say no. So every time something lands on your plate, ask yourself, is it actually truly important? Am I doing it because I feel like I should do it, because I'm just told to do it? Is this truly important? Really? Does it have a clear outcome for me that's gonna push me towards my goal? And if not, that maybe something you have to do, put it at the bottom of your to-do list. Bottom. Someone tells me, hey, we gotta look at this. Yes, this is, I used to call it 0x. I'm not gonna gain anything out of this. Bottom of my list. I'll look at it when I have time, Sunday or something. This is not important. You don't get to steal my time, okay? Learn to say no. Be extreme when you say no. Have no shame. Hey, can you take a look at, no, I can't take a look at this. No. Be okay with that. Be absolutely fine with saying, no, I'm not gonna take this call. No, I'm not gonna jump in this meeting. Why the are we having a meeting? We don't need a meeting. We don't need it. Stop, okay? Most likely, it's their desire to feel productive and busy, right? They want, oh, let's jump on a call, let's do this. Hey, I don't have this desire to feel busy and important. I'm focusing on my... Second thing is you gotta schedule some deep work blocks. Everyone has said this before, you know this by now. Okay, let's just do it. Let's protect some periods where you do one thing, right? No emails, no Slack, no meetings, nothing. Just focus on the most important task. I like to do this early. If you like to do it late, you figure that out. Again, I think we can all agree on this. We gotta have some hours throughout the day where we just kind of block out everything else. I do it the first 3 hours of the day. Nobody can text me, no meetings, nothing. And you work on whatever you think is most important with complete focus. No one can touch these hours. It doesn't matter. Something small comes up, you get an email, you get this message, someone calls you. It doesn't matter. You're focused. It goes on to the first thing I told you. Just say no. Shh. I have these hours, these are mine. After that, we can see, okay? Third thing is that you need to have deliberate pauses. Sounds counterintuitive, but taking breaks actually makes you more productive. You need breaks. Your brain needs time to process information. It needs time to make connections. It needs time to reset. So you need to have some breaks. Schedule some walking time, some thinking time. Just schedule some time where you're not actually doing anything. And no, scrolling Instagram, TikTok, whatever you're doing doesn't count. You're frying your brain. So actual thinking time, actual walking time, not blasting music and stuff like that. Just go walk. It's not that hard. It's not wasted time. This is where potentially your best idea will come, right? Why do you think ideas come when you're in the shower? Because that's probably the only time where you're not on your phone, when you're not on your laptop, something's not happening. In the shower before you go to bed. That's not where your brain is supposed to work. Are you really gonna let the best ideas be up to those two? No. So schedule some time, go for a walk, think, spend some time not actually looking at your screen, not doing. Let's dive a tad more deeper into this and see how you can actually make this whole thing work. Step 1, try and identify your busy work. Go through a typical week, look at your current to-do list and see how much is actually moving the needle, how much is actually making a difference, how much is actually moving you towards your goal, and how much is just making you feel busy, right? How many meetings are you doing where you're just in a meeting? And for most people, trust me, even for me, okay? For most people, something like 80% of their tasks are low value, busy work. As much of it as you can, out, move it. Of course, I understand we have some things we need to look at, but put that at the bottom. Fire yourself from that stuff. Delegate it, automate it, or just stop doing it entirely. It doesn't matter. That, okay? Step 2 is batch some of your tasks. Don't check your emails 50 times a day. Once or twice. That's it. And this one, I cannot stress enough how important this one is. Do not take random calls throughout the day. There's no one who should be able to call you. That's crazy. It's insane to me how someone can just call you and demand your time and you pick up. You probably even don't know the number. I never pick up my phone. I don't care who's calling. I don't care. Okay? Family calling, picking up. Anybody else? Simple. Send me an email and I'll check when I have time. When I have time, I will check. It's not about when you have time and you can just, hey, jump on a call with me. Don't answer your phone. This should be the number one thing you take away from today. Stop answering your phone. Huge impact. Trust me. You have never answered that phone has been something important. Never. Okay? Stop answering that. And stop switching between different tasks. Okay? Again, as we talked about, you have cognitive tasks, you need to pay for this. So if you can batch your tasks, you minimize the switching, keeps you in a good flow. Step 3, figure out what success actually looks like. You gotta stop measuring your days by the hours you worked or the task you completed, right? I made 50 calls, I sent hundreds of emails. It doesn't matter. Start by measuring by impact. What did I actually accomplish, right? One guy sends 1,000 emails, 0 replies, nothing happens. I send 5, I get 2 replies. Rocket science. It's not what did I do, it's what did I accomplish. Super important. Doesn't matter you worked 12 hours. If you didn't accomplish anything, it doesn't matter. It's not a successful day. That's a full day wasted pretending to be busy. If you worked 4 hours, total focus, and you made real progress, you had a real outcome, that's a very, very good day. And that guy will always win. And it's a feeling you gotta get used to, because it will feel like you didn't do enough hard work today. How can working 4 hours, 6 hours be enough? So you gotta get used to that feeling. And here's what's happening out in the world. Like if you look broader in the world, the smartest companies are already starting to figure that out. They're moving their thinking from activity-based thinking to outcome-based thinking, right? They don't give a how many hours you work. These companies, these successful companies, they care what you produce, right? Especially when remote work started to come. You can't see someone sitting at their desk, so what you have to evaluate on? Well, their output, right? I don't care. Any of my employees, I don't care if you're working 9 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours. I look at your outcome. That's the only thing I look at. We're in the beginning of a massive shift, right? The industrial area mindset of more hours equals more output. It made sense in a factory, but we're not in factories anymore. We're doing knowledge work. And in knowledge work, focused hours beat long hours every single time, okay? And I truly believe that for you out there that will figure this out first, will have a big advantage. Some of you out there got this video down, and in a week you're back to grinding. I'll be working and accomplishing very little. Meanwhile, the other guys, they'll be working less and accomplishing much more. And I'll be honest, I know this is hard to internalize because you've been programmed your whole life to equate activity with virtue. Just what you've been taught. So when you stop being busy, you're 100% gonna feel guilty. Like you almost feel like you're cheating. You feel like you're not doing enough. You're not working hard enough. And you just gotta push through that feeling because it's a lie, okay? It still happens to me sometimes. Man, I go for a walk, I'm like, what the am I doing? I should be working, but it's a lie. I shouldn't. I should be taking this break. So tomorrow, here's what you should try and do. Identify the single most important thing you could accomplish. Not 10 things, one thing. The one thing that is the most important thing to you. And you simply block out time for it. You protect that time like your life depends on it, okay? Focus on this one thing and don't have anything else in your mind. No multitasking, no distractions, nothing else. And again, I cannot stress enough how much I mean one thing. Not two, not three, one thing, okay? And just experience what it feels like to make real progress on something that actually matters. And here you're gonna find yourself in a weird situation where you're staring at your screen and you can't really progress on this one thing. And naturally you're gonna think, okay, let me put that to the side and work on something else. But this is a mistake. Relax. Take some time to breathe and get back to that one thing. There's no way you can sit down for 6 hours straight without any breaks and work on that one thing. It's not gonna happen. And you might feel like this is not something I can just do in one go. And that's fine. Again, relax. But have that one thing in your mind. That's your focus for today. I gotta accomplish this no matter what. And I truly believe you'll be surprised of how much you can actually accomplish, okay? Start small, just one task, one block of focus, okay? That's it. And if this video just made you feel a little bit differently about productivity, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. See you guys.